All right, Nathan, Jeff Allen here. I just saw your post on LinkedIn about restaurants. Would robots be a way to go ahead and make the restaurants that seem to be losing business or it's not making as much revenue, they're always losing financially. Would it help them? And I'd like to first say, let's go back to Charlie Chaplin, modern times, right? He's an assembly line. And what the goal was is to find ways to semi-automate the feeding of the workers in the assembly line so they could do more work during the time. That's kind of all a joke, right? But he's kind of mocking that. But he was showing something that we do always try to. We're always trying to semi-automate something. We're trying to automate everything. They're trying to semi-automate it, and that's the goal because they didn't get rid of the assembly line worker. They just they made it easier for them to eat while they're doing it, making fun of that because it didn't quite work. But let's go back to we're always semi-automating a lot of things. Right now, I'm talking to a computer rather than writing this in paper and pencil, right? Pen and paper and that. I'm not doing that, right? I'm doing a video rather than going into a talk and doing something and getting there by a plane or a car or a train to give a talk. Everyone else came there by plane car. We can actually do it online. So we're semi-automating things with tools just to be able to get some tasks done so that we can be more efficient with our time. And that's really what it's about. And I've spent a lot of time. And the reason why I want to talk about the restaurant topic is because my son is a cook. He went through cooking school. He's worked in a couple of restaurants. And secondly, I did a lot of music, played a lot of music for a restaurant, well, actually a few restaurants. So a restaurant where I had some very good close friends. I played for 3 years and I played music in the restaurant, but I was there a lot, not just during the times I was playing, but actually during the day as well. Got to know the servers pretty well, and the cook, because he's the owner, and the cooks, well, actually cooks in the service. Saw how they worked. I'd be there during the afternoon, actually, just doing some work and doing stuff and watching while they were getting work done to get ready for the dinner. Or I'd be setting up while they're getting the the lunchtime ready. And I'd watch how they work. And the owner and I spent a lot of time talking after dinner, after the music was done in the evenings, about automating and semi-automating what they're doing because he wanted to make it better, especially a lot of apprentices because they had a lot of apprentices. They didn't have a lot of full-time workers. They had kids are going to school to get cooking degrees or serving degrees, and some things we talked about were the oven. When he moved to the restaurant from one place to another, he set up he bought a 10,000 euro oven, right? Which could actually cook food at different temperatures. You could do the whole meal at the table in the oven with different spots, and then go ahead and make it possible to have the meal arrive at the same time for the whole table, right? If you do it right. It took a week of training to actually make that happen for each of the people using it. And really, it's all about logistics. So the hardest thing that I could see in the kind of the gastronomic area or the food and culinary area is that you need to. It's all about trying to get the you want to standardize some things, right? And if you don't want to do fast food places or joints are really done this. They've really gotten down to it. You got so many, you see them in North America, right? Fast food joints are everywhere. Don't see it here in France, but I was back in the U.S. a couple months ago and in Canada this past month. It's all standardized, harmonized. It's just industrialized because you get tasks done to certain things, right? And you limit the amount of things you're going to eat. Now you can see this in traditional sit-down restaurants, sometimes with a special meals, special evening events, or like my company when they have a catering service for a thing, they're going to have a certain amount of meals. That's it. Certain types of meals, nothing else, right? You don't have the whole menu. You only have a certain thing, or like for like a wedding party, you're going to have the same meal for everybody, right? Unless you have the one special thing, but you're going to have everybody have the same meal. It makes the price standardized price. It makes it easier to make the food because they're doing the same thing, creating all the same things, same task, right? And even in a restaurant, see my son doing it and watching others who were doing the cooking. You get everybody to do the same You get the person to work on the appetizers, and then that certain dish together, and then the desserts. You don't want to be doing it at different times. You just do the same one in a set of them because you have all the food out for that specific dish, right? And you're just doing it, boom, 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 doing the same tasks. It's very repetitive. Now, what's happening is if you can get that into the oven, um, all together, then you're saving a lot of time. That's what it's about. It's about saving time. And so that's a few of the examples. Another thing that I've seen, it's not replacing the people. It's just making them a little more productive. And we see this in the health industry, medical area. Doctors now have laser. They get lasers to help them assisted do surgery, right? And I had a doctor, I had a surgeon. He said it makes a lot easier for him to do what he does. Also in rooms where you've got the assistants, I don't know what you call these, the people that help, the healthcare assistants or the people that are lifting the person in bed to get them. You've got an automatic bed that moves up and down, right? And you have I can't remember these words. I know what these are in French, but I don't know what these are in English. It's been so long. You've got to, move person one from bed to another. You can line them up and do it with automatic. It's up and down, right? So all that has made the healthcare industry a lot easier to deal with, especially in retirement homes. You can't be picking people up and doing it, pulling them out of the chairs, right, and out of the sofas. It's easier to use some kind of device that will push them up slowly so you can pick them up, right? Or put them in the bed, or put them in a wheelchair. Electric wheelchairs, right? So all these are examples of semi-automation, which is AI. Really, it's pretty easy to see that. It's helping streamline some of those tasks and make it easier. And really, the restaurants we're seeing they're kind of trying to do the same thing, right? Another example to finish up with maybe here is that. Now I talked about the cooking in trying to streamline that. But what about serving and dishes, right? I was in a restaurant in Canada, a Japanese restaurant in Canada about a week ago, and they had a robot. I saw a robot going around, but it looked like the robot may have been taking the dishes, not really serving food, right? Now that would make sense because you've got people running around trying to clean up the tables, take the dishes back. They're running, they're trying to go faster. You can risk dropping things, breaking glasses. You've got a robot that's got just a big container, and you put all the dishes, line them up. It goes slowly off to the back into the washroom, back in the cleaning area to do the dishes, where somebody's gonna load them in the dishwasher and all that, and then the server can go ahead and finish up the table, right, and have to moving back and forth between the serving area to the kitchen. To put the dishes in and then give them the things. It just makes it a lot safer, and it slows down it slows them down so that they're not trying to speed up to try to do too many tasks at one time. So it doesn't really replace them; it just replaces some of the tasks, makes it easier, make it more safer. And that's what I can see. It doesn't risk stabbing people with a knife, right? When you're walking through the button knife stuff. Even in the kitchen, I always put my knives down while walking through. When I read another. And it makes me think of one time I had my guitar fixed, just to give an anecdote. And I'm really careful with my guitars. I have them in their cases. I move them one to another, I'm going to move them in the case, right? But I remember taking to a repair shop at the time, and the guy took out the case, and he took it out, he ran into the other room, bam, you had this bam, because he was walking too fast. He hit it against something else. And same thing with knives, right? And forks and utensils, when you're trying to go too quickly, because you're trying to be fast, clean it up, clean up the area. If you've got a robot taking the dirty dishes back to the kitchen, that just makes it easier to do all the other tasks, right? It's what you're doing is you're dealing with the workforce and how to move things around, logistics, and trying to just make it easier for everyone. So maybe it can be good. I don't see any problem with that. If it starts replacing everybody, that's it. But I don't think we're going to replace everybody with that. Not with all the companies I've worked in AI. I don't think it'll replace every single thing in the restaurant. And but you can. We've seen it with the fast foods. They've been able to do part of it with things. But we've seen too it doesn't work. The kiosks, they don't always work, right? So So sometimes you need people to help them out and all that. So I think we're quite a ways from trying to automate everything.